Hi, my name's Dr. Simon Agger, chiropractor and clinical nutritionist, and we're talking our third video on sleep, following on from sleep part 1 and sleep part 2 videos, and we're talking about some of the reasons why people might be wide awake in the middle of the night. You know, we talked about some common ones earlier, sometimes not enough minerals in the body which help to support the parasympathetic nervous system, which helps you to relax, helps you to rejuvenate, helps you to age appropriately for your age, or better than your age. Too much exercise is another problem that people run into. They will over-exercise. And what happens when we over-exercise sometimes is we push ourselves a little too far. And as a result of that, our adrenal glands will kick in during the night and maybe we'll go into a sweat. They will wake us up because the cortisol levels will be high because we pushed ourselves a little too far. If you've ever been involved in a competition at the end of the day or towards the end of the day, workout or after work competition, and you've gone to bed, you may have experienced this. Some ways to get around this is not to punish yourself too hard in the evening when you're working out or competing in something. And that can have a big effect on the adrenals, which will wake you up, as we talked about before. Too much inflammation is something else that will wake you up too. The body heals when it's asleep, but the circulation goes down in the body when you're sleeping because you go down to what's called a basal metabolic rate. And that means the body's just pumping enough blood and oxygen to take care of itself while it rests. So if you've got any areas that are inflamed, the inflammation is going to come up at night when you're resting because your blood's not carrying the inflammation away from the site of injury fast enough. And you may have noticed this if you've got a cold or a strain, that you may notice it at night more. That's one reason that too much inflammation can wake you up. And some people's whole bodies are like that. There's ways to deal with that. Autonomic nervous dysfunction. We talked about supporting the parasympathetics to calm you and make you more restful, and also help you age well. But the opposite of that is the sympathetics. They are a fight-flight mechanism. That could be going if it's a stressful situation. How do we bring this back into balance? We talked about minerals. We talked about hormone balancing. We talked about, we haven't talked about soaking in Epsom salts, magnesium sulfate. That'll relax the muscles. It'll open the pores and it'll vasodilate your capillary bed so you get more oxygen and blood flow through that. It'll help you relax, so you'll sleep deeper. Just a 25-minute soak. Adjustment, a chiropractic adjustment. If you've not experienced the chiropractic adjustment, then you're missing out. It's safer than taking Advil and aspirin at the same time. It's one of the first stops of call for managing low back pain in the state of Oregon. It helps to balance the nervous system. It takes the parasympathetics and it elevates them a little bit, helping you get a more restful sleep. And for those of you who don't like pops and clicks, there's loads of ways to adjust somebody without getting pops and clicks. Partner problems, another problem. What if somebody's snoring? What if somebody is turning around in bed, restless sleep? Maybe they've got some of the problems we've talked about. Maybe they need to watch this video. Maybe they need to call me and get some input on how we can get rid of their sleep frustrations. Snoring is very common. You see it with truncal obesity. When people get too big on the front through here, it has an effect on the way that the trachea works into their lungs, and they tend to snore more. Dental problems can cause similar problems too. So there's fixes for truncal obesity. Anti-inflammatory diets, cleanse programs, all of those type of diets that are geared to taking down inflammation will help people lose truncal weight on their body, especially both in guys and in women. You lose some weight through here, the snoring goes down. Tired during the day, again, I refer you to our blood sugar and energy video. It's a short video on showing the correlation between blood sugar and energy levels. How do you get them to stop going like that and get a little easier? Very easy to follow. Uncommon problems. What if you sleep all the time? That's called narcolepsy. That doesn't really happen as much as we see it. We tend to see people who are fatigued, adrenal fatigue, people who have had systemic inflammation, big life stresses, small life stresses that have just added and added and added, and maybe raising kids and getting out of balance. Remember, when you get out of balance, you don't sleep right. Don't run right to the drugstore. Try conservative stuff first. You owe it to yourself and your health. We're here to help you. Give us a call. Again, my name's Dr. Simon Agger, chiropractor and clinical nutritionist, and thanks for your attention.